Hello, my name is Aaron Ramirez, and I will be presenting an executive summary report for a quarterly financial report for General Motors for my CIS 3198 class project. I'd like to start off with a little bit of history about the company. Founded in 1908, Detroit, Michigan, General Motors has been a highly successful business for almost a century, despite some major financial hiccups in recent years. General Motors led vehicle sales for 77 consecutive years from 1931 through 2007, longer than any other automaker, and is currently among the world's largest automakers by vehicle unit sales. However, in 2009, the company ran into some serious financial problems with poorly managed investments and pension plans, and led to a Chapter 11 bankruptcy. After a government-sponsored bailout and a 2010 IPO, which is in the top 5 largest IPOs in U.S. history, the company seems to be back on the right track, with an annual net income for 2013 at $5,346,000. Although there is some room for concern, as these numbers are dropping from 2012's $6 million and 2011's $9 million. General Motors makes vehicles for any type of consumer need, from cars and crossovers to trucks, as well as automobile parts around the world. The brand names that align under the General Motors company include Buick, Cadillac, Chevrolet, GMC, and others. While maintaining a presence in consumer retail, GM is also heavily involved in fleet customer service for rental companies and government programs. They offer financing services as well as lease options for both prime and subprime credit customers. A little bit of information about their daily trading activity. General Motors has shown for yesterday a previous close at $37.59 a share, with an open of $37.50 a share. Now, their 1-year target estimate is $43.67 a share, so we see about a $5 difference there. There might be a little bit of room for improvement. Their daily trading volume for yesterday was 15,292,671 shares, with an average daily trading volume of about 16,840 shares traded. Their PE ratio is at 20.15, and their earnings per share is at 1.87. So, for analyzing the quarter ending in March 31st this year, 2014, they showed total revenue of $37,408,000. After a cost of revenue of $35,002,000, they show a gross profit of $2,406,000. Now, due to their general and administrative expenses, we did see an operating loss for this past quarter of $535,000. Now, $500,000 in loss is some reason to be concerned, but if we analyze these numbers and compare them to the 3 previous quarters, we would actually see that they still have an operating income, because the 3 previous quarters have shown incomes, with December 31st of last year showing operating income for the quarterly report at $165,000, and the previous 2 quarters before that were over $2 million and almost $2 million for the quarter before that, respectively. So if we take a look at their net income for just this past quarter, they did have a net income of $213,000 due to the income from continuing operations. Now, they had $818,000 of net income from continuing ops, which outweighs their income tax and interest expense, and their minority interest. So if we look at the net income of $213,000 and compare it to the 3 previous quarters, we'll see that this past quarter wasn't really a strong performance for them, because the 3 previous quarters have also net incomes of over $1 million. So if this is just a quarterly fluctuation, I think that they're poised to do well over the course of the next 3 quarters, if last year was any indicator. But there is some room for concern, as I mentioned earlier, seeing as how the past 3 years have shown a steady decline. Now, their net income applicable to common shares was $125,000 for this past quarter, $913,000 for the quarter before that. If we take a look at the balance sheet, we can see that their total assets lie at about $173,606,000, compared to their total liabilities of $131,384,000 we can see that there's not really a liquidity issue, at least not in the near future. Their total stockholder equity lies at $42,222,000, and their net tangible assets are about $35,217,000. So, in terms of liquidity, the company seems to be performing well. For their net income, as we said earlier, was $213,000 for this previous year. If we take a look at their total cash flow from operating activities, we can see that they've had cash flow of almost $2 million this past quarter, $3 million the quarter before that, closer to $4 the quarter before that, and almost $5 for the quarter directly before that. So if we expect the pattern to continue, then we'll see a much stronger performance over the next 3 quarters. Their total cash flows from investing activities did show losses over the past 4 quarters. So there is some concern there, as they might need to consider what's happening with the investments. However, it could be that they are just simply reinvesting that money or keeping money invested instead of getting cash flows back from it. So it's not really too much to worry about. But what I am concerned with is the reports of their net income over the past few years. There's definitely some changes that need to be made for General Motors. Even though the IPO was strong, and even though their numbers are still showing operating incomes and not operating losses, they definitely need to change some marketing techniques or some investing strategies so that they can show the same strong performances they have in recent years, of course, after the bankruptcy in 2009. So that is the quarterly report for General Motors, and thank you very much for tuning in.